Hi, David.
Okay, there we go.
Hey, I actually have a question for you. Um, I need to know what Ceph PG can repair without checksums.
Um, right. Well, we know erasure code can always, it has its own checksums that you can't turn off. So erasure code doesn't apply. Um, I should, it's just, I thought I made a comment on one of your, on like the GitHub or
Yeah,
something.
you did. It's the last thing that's outstanding on that PR. I can bring it up. I have it on one of these tabs. Yeah. You say PG repair can repair most things, including without checksums, and then in parentheses it says file store. So it is with replicated file store pools that a user might want to manually repair instead of using the Ceph PG repair.
Right. Because it'll just tick the primary as the authenticated, as the authentic version if it doesn't know otherwise. See, originally when some guys implemented that auto repair thing where if there's like less than 5 errors, um, it'll just repair it by itself. And that made me really, really nervous. And then we did put in a thing where auto repair does not work when it's file store replicated, even if you turn on auto repair. It's like that's not eligible. But that doesn't mean that if you just, oh, I see there's inconsistencies and I just run manual repair, it doesn't mean that it's not going to do something. It's just it might use the corrupted version as the version that everybody gets. So then you're now corrupted. But even a
So,
human may not know, a human might not even know, well, which some database file, like which was the one that was corrupted or not. You know what I mean? Even
sure,
a
yeah.
human may not be able to decide. So that's where we're at. It's
Well, okay, then that makes me want to tear out the last paragraph that I've got here that pretends to explain what PG repair does and just leave it with PG repair will not solve every problem. Ceph does not automatically repair placement groups when inconsistencies are found in them, and leave it at that. If it's because it sounds like there are competing repair initiatives inside the I don't know the development process.
that I could potentially I could look through the code and like pinpoint specific things where it can't repair and enumerate them. But I don't know how informative that is
Yeah,
to like
it's
say, oh, well, under this circumstance,
mm,
it'll just skip
yeah.
it and go down the
It
line.
it's
But
It seems to me it's very likely we're probably just belaboring it. And I can just tear out this paragraph and we can merge the pull request and then like the specifics. It's way too far into the tall weeds for most people. I mean, like it seems like it would be a nice to have thing at best, and it just feels like I'm being nitpicky for no point at this point.
right, yeah, agreed. If I have a chance, I'll look through it. If there's something that's like glaring, like, oh, we should definitely pinpoint this one item because it's just good to know, then I'll bring it up to that we should maybe add it. But it would have to be something specific that seems like we
Yeah.
should inform. But
All right.
otherwise, I agree.
then I'm going to make an alteration to the pull request. Is it's 324110, but I'll make an alteration of the pull request and ask for you to say like, yeah, looks good, and then that'll be it. Then we can merge this one. And all I'm going to do is remove this paragraph that introduces that I suppose misleads the reader as to what's really going on. So I'm going to remove that paragraph, and then it should be fine. You can
Okay.
look at it, sign off, and then we're done with PG repair for now.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember what order things are in, but in the case when it is not getting repaired automatically by the system, like you ask for a repair and it doesn't do everything it can, like there's still left inconsistencies. Running the Rados commands like list inconsistent object.
Mm.
So, I mean, a user could still then go in and try to do it themselves, try to see what's wrong. So I don't know if you,
Right.
at the very end, you say not everything can be repaired, or if, you know what I'm saying?
What I say, let's see. All I say is that sometimes manual intervention is necessary, but we don't go into any
Okay,
detail about what manual intervention is. We
okay,
like there's no guidance right now as to what manual
right.
intervention is, and that
I
uh,
think I mentioned adding a link to the object store tool. Any kind of manual intervention would encompass using the object store tool. So you could just say manual intervention, most likely using this tool. That's it.
and then we'll just use the object store tool as a place to hold the information about, you know, because the tool is the thing that's used for the manual intervention.
Yes.
Okay, that's
That brings me to a very important question. Is the object store tool documented at all?
no, not yet.
So that should be on our list because that is a
Yeah,
savior for pretty much everybody using Ceph. And again, David
yeah.
becomes your point of contact.
Okay, so let's see. Page. Let me write this down. So now I know the next thing I'm doing. I was reading everything about Rados, and
Yeah,
I
so I mean, object store tool is definitely something that we should be documenting from the Radar's perspective. I have a couple of other things that came to my notice, and I was pretty baffled by looking at how poorly we have documented stuff around it. So I wanted to bring it to your attention as well.
okay, please
Um,
do.
so if you just grep for things like Ceph DF and Ceph OSDDF. So these are a couple of commands that are used to look at the Ceph's utilization by pools, by PGs, and all kinds of stuff. So any user really cares about how much of data they have or how much of space their pools are utilizing. Uh, Based on that, they would take some precautions, add storage, or do other things. Currently, we've made a lot of changes, like from Luminous, Mimic to Nautilus, about what we actually report in these two commands and what those things mean. None of it is
What are
actually
the?
documented.
Tell me what the commands are again.
I
Ceph
will
what?
Ceph DF, Ceph
Oh,
OSD DF.
and OSDDF. Okay. So
Ceph DF
these
just shows the overall utilization of Ceph, and Ceph OSD DF is OSD wise.
okay.
Both of them need a lot of additions, I would say, and deletions. A lot of stuff is not relevant anymore.
OSD. And David would be my point of contact on that as well, right?
This one, I mean, any of us can
Any?
be point of
Okay.
contact. Yeah.
All
Hey,
right.
I didn't see your eye. What happened there?
Oh, it's some days are better, some days are worse. This one's worse.
Uh,
I'm fine
Okay.
It's just
Okay.
it's like I just have it shielded from the light because sometimes it feels like there's sand there. You know, I'm cool. Don't be alarmed.
Okay. No,
I still
no, no.
there's
Yeah.
still enough in
I
there. It's okay.
I just wanted to make sure you're okay before like I give you a pile of
Oh
things
no,
to
no,
work on. Don't overwork
pile
yourself.
on, please pile on me. Yeah.
Yeah. I think these three things are like immediate things that you can start working on once your repair. I think your repair stuff is already merged. There's one more thing I wanted to tell you that Sage actually
I
removed
saw it.
the
Yeah.
stuff.
But
People have
just to
gone and
start,
started.
right?
Yeah, people have probably gone and started using it, and it's not ready to be used yet. And it's
That's
showing
fine.
up in our master docs. So it's only a matter of time. Once that's like Ceph ADM stabilizes and we're ready to roll that out
Yeah.
with Octopus, we can merge it back in. Just wanted to make sure
Okay,
you.
it's cool. Yeah, I saw the commits.
Mhm.
I'm not fussed. It's cool.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
At some point, I thought we were going to turn my grub error analysis presentation and slide deck into maybe more of a documentation thing. Remember, there's my it doesn't have to. It can be done later, but there's like my video that you were going to look at, and then the
Yeah.
slides, and then
Yeah.
Yeah. I
You can add
try
that
to
as well. I mean,
document it.
that's yeah. You can
I
add
think
that to your list, but that probably will take more time for you to go through David's
yeah.
stuff and get back to David,
I
ask
figured
questions, and almost
yeah,
like the
that's
repair
probably
stuff.
a full week. But yeah, okay, so I've got object store tool, Ceph DF, and then Ceph OSD DF. And I figure at least the DF command shouldn't take very long to document, right? Like,
No, I don't think it should take too long. It's only a matter of going and you do use VStart and stuff, right? You do bring up a cluster, or do you have a
yeah,
Ceph
I
deployment?
have a cluster
So
here.
if
I have a cluster made of 3 NUCs.
okay, and so if you're probably running master or something, like what version are you running?
Uh, I guess it's whatever was installable using the
That's fine.
procedure that is.
That's don't worry about it. You can probably you do you know how to spin up a cluster using VStart?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
so
actually,
just
I haven't done that yet. I haven't done it with
uh,
VStart yet. I only have the physical cluster here in my, but I do have a cluster here, so I can run it here.
yeah, so the restart stuff is way simpler than actually bringing up a cluster. It's a virtual cluster. So what I would suggest you to do is just check out a Nautilus branch, and then check out a master branch, and then run vstart against them, and run these commands and see for yourself what you're seeing as being reported. And
All right.
obviously, a lot of that is not going to make sense. So you might want to come back to us with those outputs, asking for like, what does this mean, or like, what does the user
Sure.
should know about it?
Sure. Okay. Um, okay, so Cephalocon's canceled, yeah? I mean, I got the email. We all know that, right?
Yeah.
So that
David, I
means that I
think
will
you're
need a,
muted.
yeah,
I think David is talking,
David.
but he's muted.
I was just
Uh,
telling people I'm in a meeting.
Okay,
uh,
okay. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Zach. What were you saying?
just Cephalocon's canceled, so I need some other way for people to know that I'm available to do docs issues. I'd
So,
started to write a little. a little speech on like common complaints about docs issues that I thought would be sufficiently provocative to actually be worth a talk. And since that's not going to happen, I need to find some other way to let people know. So like they can complain about the documentation, and I will listen, and I will make notes, and then like make an appointment to meet with them to fix it.
I would probably say just use the mailing lists. That's where most people who care about Ceph are active.
All right. Do you mind if I mail the mailing list once a week?
Go for it. I mean, if as long as you're getting responses or anything is coming out of it, if that helps,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. Because I just feel in the dark, but I will start doing that. I will start mailing them, like mailing out an email every week saying like, please complain to me. Let me see what else we've got. Well, that's actually it. That's all the stuff I had on the agenda right now. We've covered everything.
Okay. Cool then. I think that's all I have for now. So if you have any questions, just feel free to reach back,
All
and
right.
then we can
I do
find
have
more. Yeah.
I do have one. So where do I go to use VStart? I know that I've got an
Uh,
email about it.
all right. So let me paste a link for you.
Sure.
This
Oh wow, it's
it'll tell you what you
really
need to do.
hard here. Okay, let's see here. Running a test cluster.
You might want to follow the steps even before that, just to make sure you have all your dependencies and stuff met before you start running.
Yep.
But this is the part where you'll actually start the cluster.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, then I'm gonna spend the next couple of hours getting you some text on DF and OSD DF.
And one more thing, I think Brad is one person who can help you a lot. He recently changed a bunch of reporting in OSDDF.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he should be able to like handhold you completely with that stuff.
We've got plans to go to lunch one day next week. I owe him and Jamie a lunch, so we're gonna go to lunch one day next week.
Cool. Don't talk about SFDF or no SDDF at lunch, but you can talk about it later. I don't mean to like interrupt your stuff by talking about work
Oh,
stuff.
no, it's fine.
Because every time I hear you're going for lunch, we have like, oh, there's Brad, and then you can ask him these questions about like how you can do stuff with Raiders or like Ceph stuff.
Well, that's what the lunch is for. Although, oh wait, does he complain? Does he
No.
complain?
I'm just
Yeah,
like, I'm also making sure that you guys have fun. Like, I know you've been going through your eye thing, and so
oh,
I'd want to just have
I'm
some off
okay.
time.
Well, I mean, the last week, I had to go to my accountant, and I had to go to the doctor. So I've had a couple of days where I did nothing. So I
Okay,
consider me appropriately lazy. I'm okay, and
cool.
I'm eager to have this thing to do. So
Yeah, so I think these are a few things that we should try to get into Octopus. Octopus is going to be released by the end of this month. So these small
okay,
little things that we can, if we can get it merged before that, it'll be great.
yep.
I will see if there are other small hanging fruits that I can find for you to fix.
Thank you.
David, if you have anything else, I mean, I know the scrub thing is a whole big thing, but if there are little things here and there, we can probably get that done by the next 2 weeks.
Okay, I don't have anything else.
All right, I think that's pretty much it then. Zach, unless you have any
Yeah.
more questions.
No, I will email you questions as soon as I've generated specifics.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thanks.
See you guys.
Thanks. Bye.